I am live with my bookkeeper and my bookkeeping company, who is really, without them, I don't know what I would do. So welcome, Carleen of c2accounting.com. Tell everybody what you do, Carleen.
Well, thank you. Happy New Year. So, c2accounting.com, we are a bookkeeping firm. We focus on helping small business owners take control of their business finances. We want to give people back peace of mind and let them focus on whatever they do, be it an interior designer, be it to be a business coach, whatever they want to do. We want to make sure they have the time and energy and space to do that.
This is so important. So I have a business helpline with all my clients, and one of them left a message this morning. It was unrelated to bookkeeping, but it's certainly related to staying in your zone of genius. So I tell my clients all the time, as you start making more money, and when they're in my programs, they start to make more money, use it to hire people who do what they do best, like a bookkeeper. This girl happened to try to work on her computer, and it's not her expertise, took her 7 hours, and in the end had to call a computer person. So do the same with your bookkeeping, people. Don't try to learn it yourself and spend hours and hours of your hourly rate trying to learn something that you have a firm here that can do it for you. So
Right.
on that
Exactly.
note, right? So let's talk about, Colleen, like new year, new books. How does everyone set up their accounting system for success if they haven't done so already?
Yeah, so it's always important to, new year or new me. So I want to say new year, new books, starting the year off fresh. Last year's over. I mean, obviously you still have to file taxes, but instead of lamenting on what you didn't do right last year, let's kind of make a commitment to starting the new year off as positively as we can. Did you know that according to a survey, I think it's about 3% of small business owners believe that the financial aspect of being a business owner is the hardest part of it? It's because they're like, "I don't know what I don't know,"
Yes.
or "I'm trying and I'm failing," and so then they feel like they're just not being successful. And like you were saying, if you're staying in your zone of genius, then you realize that you're successful at whatever it is that you do, but having someone on your team that can support you in the areas in which you may be weaker, it's smart business. It's not You're not failing by doing that. Even
Yes,
I, as a
absolutely.
bookkeeper, am outsourcing my taxes because I'm like, why do I have to sit here every year and hate doing taxes and fight with it? I stay out of my own zone of genius. I hired a CPA firm that I recommend my clients to do my taxes this year. So yeah.
Such a smart thing too. And then you also learn to deal with like how they operate. So when you recommend to them, right? Because like I use you, I
Hmm.
recommend people to you. I understand how you run your firm. So
Exactly.
very, very important. So
Right.
all right. So talk
So
us through.
yeah, let's talk about getting the new year started. So this is going to be kind of geared towards some of the people who maybe they haven't actually put their accounting system in place. If you already have QuickBooks in place, then also we're going to talk about that in a minute. But for new people, make sure you're choosing the right accounting software. Um, QuickBooks is obviously the standard for most, and especially if you're an interior designer, because your interior design software like Mydoma, Design Files, or House Pro, they're only going to integrate with QuickBooks. They're not going to integrate with anything else. So making sure that you start off on the right foot is going to make life easier going forward. And that's for any industry. Just making sure you have the industry specific capability if you have a third party software that you're using. Um, Having a clean start. So let's go back to the people who already have books. This time of the year, we get a lot of new clients because they realize that last year was a mess. Let's be quite honest. And if you can start the year off fresh, then you have a better chance of keeping things going well. So this is the time of the year to reach out to companies like mine who can help clean up your books for last year. Fix all the things that are there, get you a fresh set of books, a fresh set of eyes on where you are. And then it also will help save you money when you're working with your tax accountant because they then have really good information to work with. Junk in, junk out. Um, you and I have talked about this, I think, in the past, but I love a CPA that will go into QuickBooks and actually take a look at things. Too many times I find that business owners are just giving reports to a
Yes.
CPA and then they're just doing their taxes without verifying the information, literally junk in, junk out. So if those reports aren't right, if QuickBooks is not done correctly, they're filing taxes for you. You can be paying more than you have to. You can be paying less. And if you get audited, now you got to go back and pay what you should have paid, plus penalties and interest. So if you're not sure that your books are like actually being maintained well, this is the time to kind of get at least have a second set of eyes right? We
Yeah.
do something that's called a diagnostic review. So even if you're not sure if things are well or not, having someone paying someone just to do a review of your books can give you peace of mind to know, yes, I'm doing great, or maybe I need to have someone go in and fix things so that I don't get myself in trouble.
Yeah, I think it's important to repeat what you said, junk in, junk out. So
Hmm.
if your QuickBooks or your accounting system is a bunch of junk and you haven't reconciled and you haven't really checked your expenses, your income, and make sure everything's categorized properly, what your accountant's going to get is not going to be accurate information. But they don't always care. They're just going to calculate your taxes for the government right from what you give them.
Based on what you
So
give them, and they don't know that this is right information. You
yes.
mentioned the word reconciling, and so you know what reconciling is, and I know what reconciling is, but not everyone does. I'll have people say, "I reconcile." I look and I look to make sure everything's in there, and I'm like, reconciling it takes this a bit step further. There's actually a process in QuickBooks where you're taking your bank statements, credit card statements, loan statements. People forget about loans, and actually making sure that what's in QuickBooks matches those statements. That's reconciling. That's the only way for you to verify that the information in QuickBooks is accurate.
Mhm.
And people fail to realize with things like your loans, the payments that you're making to the loans, those aren't tax deductible, but the interest is. And if you're not recording the interest, you're losing money. You're losing out on valuable tax deductions.
Like the SBA loan that some people have.
Exactly, exactly. I mean, at the end of the day, a well-organized, bookkeeping system can save people average like 15 hours a month. And that's 15 hours that you can be doing consultations with clients, you can be doing installs, you can be doing so many other things that makes you money, right?
And I will tell you, one of the things you mentioned is so true. Your accountant charges you more money when your books are messed up. So it's actually costing you possibly more money paying the government in taxes because your books are not reflecting
Hmm.
accurately or deductions. And you have to pay your accountant more because they're trying to funnel through a mess.
Yeah. So, I mean, when you look at cost to cost, having a CPA do your bookkeeping versus having a bookkeeping firm, CPAs are usually going to be way more expensive. So, having them go through and fix your books is typically going to cost you a lot more.
Yep. Okay. All right. What
Um,
else?
so, if you are one of the things I know that you talk to your clients about is project understanding the profitability in projects.
Yes.
So, this
Project
is
profitability. Yeah.
beginning of the year is always a great time to start putting that in place if you haven't done it already. Again, you have a clean set of books, it's a lot easier to start a process with like the new projects you're starting this year versus trying to go back and figure out, the previous years. So that's another good thing to do. Um, and then one of the things that people should do is independent of their bookkeeper or their tax accountant, they themselves should be aware of tax deadlines. Like at the end of the day, we're adults. We're all responsible
Oh,
for
wait a
our own
minute.
bit.
Did you just say be aware of tax deadlines?
Yes, because we are
Oh,
adults. And what is it? Ignorance is not exempt you from the rules. So I do
bliss.
just, yeah,
Ignorance is bliss. Are you telling me it's
exactly.
not bliss when you don't look
It
at your
is
numbers?
it is not bliss. So taking a minute to go, okay, I know that I should be making estimated quarterly payments, putting those deadlines in your calendar so that even if your CPA, because they're busy, they're going to be slammed, for at least half of the year, making sure that you are doing you should do as a business owner to know when you should be making those tax payments or reaching out to your CPA and saying, hey, and this is coming up in 3 weeks. I need your help to tell me what do I owe? What should I pay so that I'm in compliance?
Or are you filing for me if you
Or are
check
you filing
something?
for me?
Yeah.
But so that and they're going to need, in order for them to calculate estimated taxes, that's based on your profit for the quarter. So again, it all goes back to having good bookkeeping, having good numbers.
Yes. Yes.
Um, yeah, so those are kind of the good ones. The other thing I would say is if you're not already doing it, regular financial reviews. Obviously, if you have a bookkeeper, taking advantage of that with them if they offer it. But also setting up like money dates with yourself. You know,
Hmm.
don't bury your head in the sand. Actually, take some time, get a glass of wine, and sit down and go. Let me actually dive into this and look at my reports, and not just wait I guess what I'm trying to say is be more proactive this year as a goal as opposed to being reactive. I just
I
think
love
it's
it.
for
I
all
think
of
it's
us,
so
it's going to be,
important.
yeah, I think it's me, and I'm trying to do that in different parts of my life, just definitely being more proactive than reactive. I think that could have a huge impact on on your business as a whole.
Yes. And I think you're right, because like you offer that monthly review after you submit my reports to me. And I don't often take advantage of it, but I do sometimes when I look at a number and I go, I'm not
Right.
quite understanding where that came from. Is that something I need to talk to Carleen about? Well, yeah, why not? I'll set up the
Mhm.
15-minute review and we can chat about it. So
Exactly.
if your
Now,
bookkeeper doesn't do that, you should be looking at getting a new bookkeeper.
exactly. Now, someone like you who's actually used to handle your own books, and even though you decided to give that up, you were going in and you do know how to read your own financial statements because you talk to people about it. So you have a leg up, but not everyone has that. They would definitely need to take advantage of asking questions, especially in the beginning of a new relationship with a professional, because once you've been with someone for 6 months, you're used to seeing how the reports are coming. You may have fewer questions, but in the beginning, take advantage of that. Ask those questions.
Yeah, because they really, when it comes to books, and that's why part of why I love you and your firm is that there really is no stupid question. Even though I know things, I might ask what I consider a stupid question someday, but you're so good about it. You're just like, yeah, no, that's how you explain that. Like it's just
Right.
you never have judgment on that, which is so
Yeah. And find someone, if you, again, not everyone's going to work with us, we get that, but when you are choosing a professional, be it your CPA, an attorney, or even your bookkeeper, find someone who is willing to explain things to you in a way that you understand. If they're consistently talking over you, that might not be the right professional for you. And there are so many different professionals out here. You can find someone that matches your energy, that matches your personality, and is willing to meet you where you are and never make you feel stupid or make you feel like you can't ask a question.
Yeah, that's the important part. Never make me feel stupid. Let me ask questions. Let me brain dump what's on my mind once in a while and still focus on the books and not everything else. Right. And
Exactly.
that's what I love about you guys. If I go off on a tangent, you'll bring me back to, yes, but this is how you read the books. I'm
Yeah.
like, okay.
Yeah, let's do that. So let's just do a quick summary. We talked about, starting the year off right. We talked about choosing your right accounting software, making sure your processes are streamlined, setting this new year up, organizing your financial records if you haven't already done it. We talked about project budgeting. I think that's another good one. Understanding your tax obligations, financial reviews, and then choosing a really good professional to have, or professionals. Let me say that in your pocket because you should have more than one. You should definitely
Yes.
have your bookkeeper, your CPA, your financial advisor, your insurance guy. I mean, it's a village. It takes a village to raise a
It
business, right?
does. It does. It's
So
a team effort for
it
sure. And if
is.
you're
It
doing it
is.
as a solo, you will eventually get to a point where you either bury yourself or you'll come ahead financially and start finding your own brain and hiring people who do these
Exactly.
things,
I
not do them
agree.
yourself.
You want
It's a big leap of faith, but it's so important.
It is so important. We definitely, as business owners, especially because I'm assuming a majority of your audience are females. I mean, there are males too, but for women, I know that we tend to want to do everything ourselves. We have to let go. We just got to let go. So yeah, I encourage everyone who's listening to start the year off right. Evaluate their current system, put a new one in place if they don't have one. Have someone look at it to make sure that they're on the right track. Yeah, and of
All
course, we
right.
would love to be part of that. But yeah,
Yeah, I can't speak highly enough of your firm and of you. So everyone go over to C2-accounting. It's up
it's up
there.
there. See you. Yeah,
That's up there.
it's up
Um,
there.
.com and set up a call with Carleen, and she can tell you how much it's going to cost you to do an audit of your books. And then if you're looking for a bookkeeping firm on a monthly basis, what she does for the monthly fee. It's not that complicated to get the information from
Mhm.
Carleen. It's going to be a lot more complicated if you don't, and your books are not clean, and you're going to end up spending way more money over the next year or more when you're not clean and you don't have a good bookkeeper.
And I can tell you right here, our diagnostic review, the audit you're referring to, is just 250. So it's an investment. And if you actually decide to have us do any kind of cleanup, we apply that 250 to the
Oh,
work.
nice.
Right. And
Okay.
if you don't, you're going to walk away with at least a PDF. And because we're going to go over this together live on Zoom, and I'm going to show you what I saw. And so you can understand where the books are. So for 250, that's a great investment to at least have a better understanding and some peace of mind.
Yeah, start out with information of what you need to do to get yourself cleaned up. Then you
Yeah.
can make decisions
Then
after
you can
that.
make
So,
decisions after that. So
okay.
very low commitment, low risk.
Yeah, I think so. Well worth it. So,
Awesome.
all right. Well, thank you, Carleen.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
I love all my sponsors and I want everyone to support them. If you're looking for a bookkeeping firm for your interior design firm or any of your creative firm, I know you don't just do interior design.
To lots of businesses, yes.
Yeah. So check out Carleen and C2 Accounting, and we'll see you
Thank
next
you.
time. Thanks,
See you guys next
Carleen.
time. Bye-bye.
Bye.